Imagine if the secret to unlocking your brain's full potential, enhancing creativity, boosting learning, what if it wasn't some new app or a complicated gadget? What if it was something, well, as ancient and beautiful as poetry? Ever wondered if the rhythm of words could actually change your brain, fundamentally? Well, today we're taking a deep dive into Clint Miller's The Biohacker's Guide to Poetry. We're really focusing on Chapter 2. That's where he unveils some truly unexpected science behind verse. We've got some fascinating source material here.
Absolutely. And our mission, really, is to get beyond just appreciating poetry. We're going to trace Miller's amazing journey. I mean, from a neuroscience lab in China all the way to indigenous musical traditions across the globe. He shows how rhythmic patterns, particularly in poetry, can induce these unique brain states. And these states lead to some pretty profound cognitive benefits, stuff you can actually use. So it's not just art for art's sake, it's about application.
Yeah, get ready for some genuinely surprising facts, I think, and a perspective that might just expand how you think about your brain and language. We're aiming to show you how poetry might just be the most accessible, brain-boosting tool you, never knew you had. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Clint Miller's origin story. It's key to understanding this, because he wasn't just a scientist, right? He was a lifelong poet, a musician, steeped in rhythm from, day one almost.
That's right. His dad taught him rhyming really early on as he was learning to talk. So that cadence of language was built in. And then his mom started him on classical piano at age 4, playing Bach, Mozart, before he moved on to blues guitar. And get this, by high school, he could play over 20 instruments.
20? That's incredible. So he must have intuitively felt something about rhythm and music.
Exactly. He felt it could alter mental states, change how you feel, how you see things. But the science, the why, that escaped him until his late 20s. And it's that intuition that then fueled his scientific work. After Harvard, he ends up running a lab in China, of all places, Zhengzhou University, psychology department. He was working with postgrads, studying students learning English as a second language.
Okay, and this is where the tech comes in. The brain waves.
Precisely. What's really fascinating is his method. They used EEG electroencephalogram, measures brain electricity to show live brainwave feedback. He was experimenting with rhythmic audio stimulation, different beats, different patterns, trying to boost comprehension, cognition, especially for learning a new language.
So he wasn't just observing brainwaves, he was actively trying to influence them with sound, creating customized beats. Monaural, binaural.
Exactly. Those are types of audio tones designed to nudge brain activity. Monaural is the same in both ears. Binaural uses slightly different frequencies in each ear, creating a sort of auditory illusion in the brain. His goal was to trigger something called frequency following response, FFR.
FFR, also called brainwave entrainment.
That's the one. Basically, your brain waves start to sync up to mimic the external rhythm, like your brain starts humming along to the beat it hears.
Okay, to really get why that matters, maybe we should quickly break down the main brainwave frequencies.
Good idea. So broadly, you've got delta, that's very slow, 5 to 4 cycles per second, or hertz, deep sleep. Then theta, 4 to 7 hertz. That's more like daydreaming, light meditation, creativity kicking in.
Right.
Alpha is 8 to 13 hertz, relaxed but awake, just chilling out.
Okay.
And beta, 13 to 30 hertz, is your active, concentrating, problem-solving brain.
So if you want someone to learn better, you'd think beta, right? Intense focus.
That's the intuitive thought, yeah. But Miller, he found something completely different, something counterintuitive.
And this is the big reveal, isn't it? He found better results targeting, what do we call it, the misty borderland between sleep and daydreams.
That's the phrase, specifically around 4 hertz.
Yeah.
Right on that edge between high delta and low theta.
So like those moments when you're just drifting off or just waking up, hypnagogic, hypnopompic states.
Exactly those states. Where ideas can feel really vivid, insights pop up. Seems that's the sweet spot he was aiming for with his audio beats.
And he could actually induce this state reliably.
Yes, that's the key finding from the lab work. Using those rhythmic pulses, he could get the students' brains to show increased power specifically in that 4 hertz range. Their brains literally synced to the 4 beats per second rhythm. It proved you could reliably induce this specific state and that it helped learning.
Wow, okay.
And that early work, it really laid the foundation. It made him wonder where else this 4 hertz state might show up.
And this is where it gets really interesting because he starts looking beyond the lab, right? He finds out this 4 hertz thing isn't just for language learning. Studies were showing it was linked to meditation, trance, prayer, Even prophecy and out-of-body experiences.
All sorts of altered states, yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed to be this kind of universal key found across different cultures and practices.
So how universal is it? Was there specific research backing that up?
There was. Melinda Maxfield's work from 1990 on shamanic drumming is a really powerful example. She analyzed drumming patterns from shamanic ceremonies worldwide. And what did she find?
Let me guess. Something around 4 hertz.
Spot on. A preferred rhythm of 4.5 beats per second, consistently used across cultures to induce trance states. So that 4 to 5 hertz range really does seem to be a kind of universal gateway, discovered independently without modern tech, just through rhythmic sound.
That's incredible. Ancient traditions and modern neuroscience pointing to the same thing.
Kind of mind-blowing, isn't it?
It really is. And this discovery basically sends Miller packing, right, out of the lab into the world.
Yep. He swaps his EEG for a field recorder, dual microphones. He wants to capture these rhythms in their natural habitat.
Imagine that journey. Recording throat singers in Inner Mongolia, leaf players in the Philippines, out performers in Tunisia.
Jungle musicians in Cambodia, temple singers, fire dancers in Bali. The list goes on. He was immersed in it.
A global quest for rhythm.
Absolutely. And eventually this quest leads him to southern India, to the Carnatic music masters.
Ah, the Carnatic tradition. That's incredibly ancient and complex, isn't it?
Thousands of years old. These masters use ragas, these intricate melodic and rhythmic structures, to create specific emotional and even psychophysiological effects. Their system was so sophisticated, Miller found it could basically explain almost any musical style he'd encountered anywhere else.
Wow. But mastering that, it's not easy.
Not at all. We're talking decades of dedicated study. A lifetime commitment, really, to learn how to use these systems to access those elusive brain states.
Okay, so the 4 hertz state is powerful, it's universal. But the traditional ways to get there, like Carnatic music or shamanic practice, require huge dedication.
Right. Not exactly accessible for everyone on a daily basis.
Which must have kept Miller searching. He needed a more efficient method, something more readily available.
Exactly. He needed a shortcut.
Which finally brings us back, after this whole global tour, to poetry. How does poetry become the potential shortcut?
Well, the hypothesis hinges on speech rhythm itself. Just think about how we talk. In English, the average rate is roughly 4 syllables per second.
4 syllables per second. That's the magic number again, 4 hertz.
Pretty much aligns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now take that natural rhythm and regularize it. Give it a consistent pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. That's poetic meter.
Okay.
And that regularized rhythm, Miller proposed, could be a perfect natural tool for brainwave entrainment, guiding the brain gently towards that 4 hertz state.
The borderland state again. The one that's good for creativity, intuition.
Exactly. That state seems to lower our usual cognitive filters. It allows for better memory consolidation, maybe more intuitive leaps, divergent thinking, stuff that's crucial for insight and innovation.
So poetry isn't just expressing ideas, it's actively tuning the brain to a state where those ideas might flourish more easily.
That's the core idea. It's like our everyday speech already has the potential, and poetry just refines it, structures it to make it a reliable tool.
It makes you think about those stories of like Einstein or Edison or Salvador Dali.
Ah, yeah, the dropping the ball trick.
Exactly. They had their own ways of trying to catch that state between waking and sleeping, didn't they?
They did. Resting, holding something, a ball, keys. As they drifted off, clatter. It wakes them up right in that hypnagogic 4 hertz-ish zone.
Right. They believed that was key for their breakthroughs.
And it probably was. But, it relied on specific conditions. A bit of luck, maybe.
Whereas poetry, Miller's idea is that poetry is, easier, more reliable.
That's the suggestion. It's structured. It's accessible. It's repeatable. It's embedded right there in language. You don't need special equipment or naps.
You just need the verse itself.
Pretty much. The rhythm does the work. It might sound almost too simple, but the cross-cultural evidence, the speech-rhythm connection, it makes a compelling case.
So pulling this all together for you listening, what does it really mean? It means poetry isn't just, art. It's not just something from English class.
Yeah.
Based on Miller's work. It could be a built-in biohack for your brain, a powerful one.
Yeah, a direct line, almost. An ancient, globally recognized way to shift your brain into states that are really good for learning, for creativity, for insight.
It's like a tool for optimizing your mind that's been hiding in plain sight, available to anyone. So, quite a journey we've taken. From that lab in China, through shamanic drums, Indian ragas, all landing on Clint Miller's big idea. Poetry, with its rhythms, is a surprisingly effective way to entrain your brainwaves, to guide you into that potent 4 Hz borderland state.
Yeah, it's like a shortcut that thinkers, artists, mystics have sought for ages. And it's right there in language.
It really reframes the structure of verse, doesn't it? It's not just about sounding nice. It's physiological. It's doing something to your brain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Poetry doesn't just describe altered states. Miller suggests it actively creates them. It opens pathways, enhances cognition, fuels creativity.
It shows this incredibly deep link between language, rhythm, and how our brains are actually wired. Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with, something to chew on. Poetry is ancient. It's universal across human cultures, and our average speech rhythm naturally hovers around that key 4 Hz frequency. What if? What if our brains aren't just wired to understand poetry, but to be actively changed by it, transformed? Could that rhythmic, pulsive language be a fundamental key, an everyday key, to unlocking deeper parts of our minds? A potential we're only just now maybe starting to truly appreciate.